Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We are here on Monday, the first day of a brand new week. Going to be starting off pretty strong, hopefully. I was able to just barely squeak into grade 5 last night. It was kind of rough. I had to stay up late to get there. When I made dinner, it just barely, I think it was like 1,000 off, and I had no more berries, so I just stayed up waiting on my team to collect enough to get us there. But we did make it. Grade 5 for the end of the week. And let's jump into this sleep report and see if we get anything interesting for our efforts. Session 107. 8 hours, 20 minutes. Yeah, see? Stayed up kind of late trying to get into grade 5, but really wanted to hit that on our first week. We've got 6% dozing, 61% snoozing, and 33% slumbering, so I think that's pretty definitively going to be a snoozing type. So hopefully with that we can break. How have we been doing? Hopefully 20 million at least. Yeah. We did break 20, so we're up to 21.6 million. Got another a top belly sleep, which is always fun. Still only 6 Pokemon that spawned, but that's all right. That just means we don't have to agonize over too many choices. Ooh, a top belly Jigglypuff, which I did have before. Okay, so nothing new, but that's all right. We got 2 Eevees, 2 Jigglypuffs, and 2 Rattatas. Just a tirade of 2s today. Let's see if anybody's hungry. We do have a hungry Rattata, which we do need another. Ooh, a hungry Jigglypuff. Ooh. That actually... I think I have a good Jigglypuff. Let me see. I'm just gonna check my box real fast. No, I don't actually. My Jigglypuff isn't good until level 50. So, and Jigglypuff, I always forget if it's the berry or if it's the skill. I think Jigglypuff is the skill and Clefairy is the berries. I always get those two mixed up in my head. But we do need a better one. So, see, we've got the Eevee to level 9. It would be nice to put it to level 10, but with just a bonus biscuit, I'm gonna go ahead and feed the Jigglypuff and take that home. We do have the Rattata set up for next time, and Rattata isn't as, and it's a critical hit. That works too. Cannot complain about that. Yeah, like I was saying with the Rattata, it's not going to be as useful in the meantime. We definitely have a little bit of time before we're going to need another one to try to find something better than what we had already. And really, let's go ahead and send out the Jigglypuff candy. Not really too sure which of these is more rare. I mean, I know the Rattata is not the rare one, but ooh, 1317 XP. I will take that. 1728. And now that I think about it, I think we leveled up at the beginning of the week. And I don't think we've leveled up since then, which is kind of weird. Usually we level up at the end of the week. But we got a new Jigglypuff, so let's switch on over and figure out just how good this one is. Yeah, okay, so it is the skill specialist. And for some reason, I just like to go ahead and clear it out and start from scratch. To me, it feels like it's easier than deleting all of the old sub-skills. We do have all honey. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. All honey, kind of good, kind of bad, but not an ingredient specialist, so not terrible. Helping speed at the beginning is not bad. Inventory up S. Another helping speed. Also not bad. Research XP bonus. And ingredient finder S. Now with Jigglypuff specifically having energy for everyone, I feel like having sub skills and a nature that boosts the likelihood of that happening are the most ideal for a Jigglypuff. So this one's probably not going to be too great either. Yeah, this one is just slightly worse than the one that I have already. So probably won't be keeping this one because I think the one that I have does have some skill trigger boosting later in the later levels, and that's why it does get up higher as it gets as it levels up. The ratings get higher. Let's go ahead and just compare that one. So it's really bad early on, and then at level 50 it bumps up to 88 and 85%. So this one's definitely not going to replace that one, so we won't hold on to this one, but we will definitely take the free candy. Not too bad. Not too bad on the sleep research. This week went a little worse than I had planned, only being grade 5, but like I said, we did switch out the team quite a bit throughout the week, so that definitely didn't help us. But we were trying to get a lot of these lower sleep styles cleared out anyway, so it's all right. I'm not upset about it. I am curious how my weekly summary is going to go, though, with how crazy hectic my my week has been. Grade 5, final strength 220,000, gains from berries 136,000, and 84,000 from cooking, which is, I mean, it's bad compared to how we usually do, but not terrible. And really getting an A for the whole week with 4 handy candy S, I will take it. Getting an A is actually pretty good for what I was expecting. You can see my sleep midpoints kind of all over the place, especially these last couple days. But I've just been really busy this past week, and probably will be for the next few weeks. So it's going to be a bit hectic. But that said, I think we are going to... Actually, I want to check something real fast. So Pokemon befriended 20%. We have 60% of the sleep styles. 14% and 15%. So all kind of around the same, 15%. So yeah, green grass, we have 20%, and then the rest of the islands are all about the same at 15%. But we are definitely going to be going to Taup Hollow this week because we have a very sneaky snake that we want to capture, and that looks like it might be a shiny Snorlax, because that looks like a deeper blue. Desserts and drinks, so we're finally switching up what we're making this week. I think we've had curries for like 3 or 4 weeks now. So I just saw the animation for my little shiny Butterfree, and there it goes wandering into frame. So yeah, energy recovery, 98 XP. I did switch out before I went to sleep to our Taup Hollow team because I knew we would be coming here. So we should have a pretty decent start to today. Have our awesome little berry finding Cubone on the team because we definitely need to rank him up. Collect all these ingredients. Let Snorlax start eating. I was hoping to get an ingredient trigger because we're definitely going to need to use some tickets, but that's cool. Oh, we got bundles. Cool. Let's check this out. What do we got? To go along with the Eevee Event Week 2023, Eevee Event Week or Eevee Week bundles, small, medium, and large, will be available beginning 11/18/2023 at 10 p.m. November 21st is Eevee Day. Limited time bundles filled with items to help you befriend and raise Eevees, such as Eevee incense and Eevee candies, will be available this time. You can buy Eevee candies? That's... I wonder if they're going to do that in the future with other Pokemon where you can buy candies specifically. So let's see, these bundles available from 11/18 to 11/27/2023. So with the small bundle, we have for 250 diamonds, a Great Biscuit, 2 Poke Biscuits, and 10 Eevee candy. That's not terrible. I mean, if you have the spare diamonds, 1 Great Biscuit is 200 diamonds. So you're getting a great biscuit, and then for 50 diamonds more, you're getting 2 Poke Biscuits, which is a pretty sweet deal, plus 10 Eevee candy. Eevee candy, honestly, while it's interesting that we can buy it, not really too exciting since there's supposed to be a higher number of Eevee spawns. So we're probably going to be drowning in Eevee candy by the end of the week. So interesting that we could buy it, but not exciting. So I'm not really going to count it towards being valuable in the bundle. So let's see, with the medium bundle, we've got 1,200 diamonds, 18 Poke Biscuits, 2 Friend Incense, Eevee Candy times 40, and 2 Eevee Incense. Eevee Incense, kind of valuable, again, with how frequently they're going to be spawning during Eevee week. Not the most valuable, but it is an extra spawn, so not terrible. I would definitely say it's more valuable than the candy itself. But for 18 Poke Biscuits with 1,200 diamonds, that's actually pretty good. Friend Incense, y'all know how I feel about them versus a good camp set, so those are okay. But I don't know, it's not a bad deal. If you have 1,200 diamonds to spare, I definitely could see this being an interesting or a useful purchase. So I don't hate it. Obviously, I won't be buying it because I don't have that many diamonds, but it's not terrible. And then the large bundle, 3,000 diamonds, 1,500. Wow. If you got 1,500 Great Biscuits for that, that would definitely be worth it. But 15 Great Biscuits. So that's exactly what you would pay if you bought them separately, because they're 200 a piece. So that'd be 3,000 diamonds for 15 biscuits. And then the rest is stuff that is not super exciting in the bundle. 5 Friend Incense, which you could just get a good camp set for 500 diamonds. So I mean, I don't know, like 100 Eevee candy and 5 Eevee Incense. Again, the Eevee candy, not super valuable. Eevee Incense is more valuable. Friend Incense, I would say, personally, is kind of in the middle of those two, because I think you're better off getting a good camp set. But for 15 Great Biscuits, I don't know. I actually think this one, just on my initial reaction, this one is the weakest of the bundles, in my opinion. I honestly think the small bundle is the best deal, simply because it just gives you useful stuff that you can't really come across any other way other than purchasing them for sleep points, diamonds, or, you know, maybe getting some free ones for rank ups and medals. But yeah, the small bundle is definitely the one that I would buy if I just had extra diamonds and I wasn't worried about the price. I would probably I would definitely buy 3 of the small bundles. Those seem to be the best deal. The medium bundle is a pretty good deal. It is unfortunate that it's only Poke Biscuits and you don't get any Great Biscuits for it, but not terrible. I could see an argument for buying that one. The large bundle, I mean, outside of getting just extra or free Friend Incense for buying 15 Great Biscuits, not really super interesting to me. Now, that may be different for you. You may find that a really great deal, and if you do, great. Go ahead and pick it up, and I hope it works out. But for me, not super interesting. Eevee incense gives off a scent that Eevee loves, so it's just explaining it, how the incense works, which we all know by this point. So bundles are pretty interesting. They're more intriguing to me this time around than the Halloween bundles were. Some I actually wish that I had the diamonds to buy, but still nothing mind-blowing. But that said, let's move on. We got some medals to collect. Just one. Number of normal type studied, 100. A Dream Cluster S. And then let's go ahead and collect our sleep reports from our research community. 46. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. There's 1, 2, 3. 3 level ups and all at good points to give us some ingredient tickets, which we are going to have to use a couple here in just a second. Because I don't even know how I am going to make breakfast and meals this week. Actually, no, I have a good idea that I just thought about. But let's see, what do we need to make what I want to make? I have 39 slots in the bag. This actually might be a really good week to change it up just a little bit and make a new recipe that we have not made before, because we have tasty mushrooms, we have ginger, and we have access to apples. So we already know who's going to bring in our mushrooms. Now we need to figure out who's going to bring in our apples, because I believe that our 2 berry gatherers will be bringing in some ginger. We may want to... Oh yeah, they'll be bringing in... No, they won't, because I'm going to use the berry trick. So they won't be bringing in anything. We need to figure out who's going to bring in our apples and our ginger. So let's go ahead and filter by... Let's do apples first. That's berries, berries, berries. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. I think I kind of have a workaround. It's not exactly what I wanted, but I do have a way to... I have come up with a way to name my Pokemon to give me an idea of how their stats go over... Well, not over time, unfortunately. Let me just explain what I did. So basically, I went through and I went on the calculator. And let me just pull this up, give you guys an example. So I went to rate my Pokemon, and let's see who's on screen. Raticate. So I pulled up Raticate, and since Raticate is a berry specialist and his sub skills do not really help him be anything more than a berry specialist, and his nature definitely doesn't make him suited to finding ingredients, I left him as a berry specialist. I took the 6 scores that he has over his levels, added them together, and divided them by 6 to get the average of 53%. So I've named him in a way of what I want to use him for. I want to use him for berries and his average rating over time. You can see Pikachu, this hat Pikachu did a lot better. Let's go ahead and pull that one up. So it had a much higher rating to start out with. It does taper out over time, but I just did the same thing. Its sub skills and nature benefit it as a berry specialist. Add those 6 together, divide by 6 to get the average. I did do that with some others. I'll show you later on, probably here in a minute when we try to find something a little better. But I did the same thing with every Pokemon that I have. So going forward, that's what I'm going to be using for a little while. Like I said, it's not what I wanted, but I think it's the best we can do, because it does seem like the game just does not want to let us use more than 3 numbers at a time in a name. So unfortunately, this is what we've got, and that's what I'm going to do for now. So if you guys want to use it, feel free. Hopefully it helps. If you've got something that's better, let me know. But that's what we're going to do for now. I don't know why I backed out of that. Let's get into... Now, this is a problem. I don't have an ingredient specialist for apples. You don't have apples till level 60. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Ingredient Finder M at level 10. Maybe. Yeah, the nature doesn't make it to where he's going to have a hard time finding apples, but I would like to have... I did not mean to do that. I would like to have something a little more consistent. Butterfree doesn't do apples. For some reason, I thought it did. This is actually a problem. I may have to forego the recipe I wanted to make until we get apples more consistently. Either that or put this Pikachu on the team. I mean, it does have Ingredient Finder S with Speed of Help up. So maybe put this Pikachu on the team and don't use the berry trick on it. That might be the best choice. Yeah, I think unfortunately that is the best choice I have right now, because this is definitely not going to help us. So even though Berry is not, or not Berry, even though this Pikachu is not intended to bring in ingredients, that may be the only option we have. I'm going to try it for today. We'll see how it goes. If we end up not getting enough apples, then I'll just have to swap it out. But we need apples, warming ginger, and mushrooms. The mushrooms are already taken care of. Gengar typically brings in quite a few of those. So we just need to worry about ginger. There it is. Actually, this is a perfect time for us to level up this guy, who has some really good sub skills and a pretty good nature. So this guy, 95% over the course of level 1 through 60. So can't really complain about that. Several of his ratings along the way were 100. I think he had 3 ratings that were 100 at like 25, 30, and maybe only 2. 25, 30, and 50 doesn't sound right. Or no, it was level 10, 25, and 30. I think we're all rated 100. So got lucky, got a really good Larvitar a few weeks back that I kind of forgot about when I was on my Tyranitar hunt. So I don't think we need to save that Master Ball for Tyranitar anymore. I think we just really focus on this guy. But this looks like a pretty decent team for the week. Let's go ahead and switch over to our team analysis. And let's plug these guys in real quick and see what we're looking like. We are on Taup Hollow. And we've got... Where are we at? Where's the Marowak? Where are you? Looked right over you somewhere. Am I blind? I'm blind. There it is. Our Marowak is now level 30. Then we've got Cubone, level 11. Witch Hat Pikachu, Gengar, and Larvitar. Where'd it go? I went way too far. There it is. So we've got Taup Hollow, 17 apples a day. is what this Pikachu is projected to bring in. That may not be enough. 28 mushrooms a day is plenty, if that's pretty accurate. So this is projecting Master 2 at Taup Hollow for now. We'll just kind of leave it at this, see how it goes. Like I said, that number of apples is not going to be enough for what I'm trying to do, because I think I need, let's see. Yeah, I need 15 apples. So if all we're bringing in is 17 a day, that's only once a day that I can make the recipe I want. So unfortunately, we may just be able to make it one time, just clear it out in the log, and then from there, go back to the recipe that we know we can make. But let's go ahead and swap these guys out and use our ingredient tickets that we know we're going to need to use. Hopefully be able to make a decent breakfast. Yeah, 26 is not enough. Tasty mushrooms, I will take those. We definitely need them. I think I'm going to use one more. Oh, we did get fancy apples. So maybe we can at least make this recipe now. Maybe. Just have to see what we've got. I don't want to use too many tickets. All right, let's see. We don't have enough apples. Cool. All right, well, let's go back and just see what we do have enough for that we've made before. Nothing. We don't have enough for anything. Oh, no. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have enough. Trying to see if there's something I haven't made before that I could make now. Not even close to that one. Don't have enough soybeans. Yeah, we're in a bad way right now. We are in a bad spot. But that's all right. Let's really don't want to use any more tickets right now. Really can't believe we can't make one of the basic things. Yeah, we can. What am I talking about? We can absolutely make one of the basic recipes. I just didn't realize I hadn't made it before. Let's use all this other stuff that we don't need first. We'll throw in some tasty mushrooms to round it out. We'll make something new. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, and I want to shout out Zorark. This was pointed out by them that the level bonus that you see up at the top here only applies to the required ingredients for the meal, not the total dish strength. So the solar power curry that I was making last week, I had a 70% bonus on. That 70% was only applying to the 15 ingredients that were required for the meal. The why am I drawing a blank on that? That's super easy. The snoozy tomatoes and the fiery herbs. Any other ingredients that I put in the pot did not get that bonus applied to them. So that is something to keep in mind when you're deciding what dish you want to make, that you may want to try to make a dish with a high number of required ingredients, because then that level bonus will be applied to more of the ingredients in the meal. So again, thanks Zorark for pointing that out. That was something I didn't catch before. So make sure to use that information going forward. But that said, we did get 5,660 for making that super basic apple juice. But we will get some diamonds out of it, so that's good. At least we got something beneficial out of it today. Already at basic 2 after breakfast, which, given how last week went, feels pretty good. Cool. Now we've got our 3 diamonds. Let's go collect those. And as we collect those, I believe that is all I've got for you guys today. So thanks for watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, later dudes. Good morning everyone and welcome back. We are on day 2 of a brand new week, hoping to find us a rocky snake boy, but first off we're going to find some honey. And let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Only got 90 sleep points. Didn't sleep as much as I should have, I suppose. 11,602 is our new total. Not sure what triggered that. Basic 5 though, I'll take it. I will take it. $53 sleep styles that we can find now here in Taup Hollow. I guess it's been a while since I've been at Taup Hollow. This Snorlax looks like the normal shiny Snorlax, but maybe this is just the default here on Taup Hollow because I have not seen the shiny effect. So I need to double check into that and see if that's the case. But little tangent aside, let's go ahead and jump into the sleep report and see if we found us the rocky boy we're looking for. Because I would definitely love to have one. Only 7 hours and 41 minutes of sleep. Did take me quite a while to fall asleep, and that's why. I think I actually laid down in bed at like 11, but then didn't go to sleep until almost 1. But we got the slumbering type, which is, I believe that's what we need to find Onyx. I don't know, I probably should have looked this up. I don't know at what Snorlax rank Onyx starts to spawn, but hopefully it's kind of early. We only got 4 Pokemon today with 2.6 million drowsy power. I don't see anybody yet. Graveler. Well, that is a rock type, just not the one we were looking for. So we got a Togepi, an Igglybuff, a Wynot, and a Graveler. 3 baby Pokemon and a big rocky boy, but not the rocky boy we wanted. Let's see what we've got going on. Nobody's hungry. Igglybuff and Wynot. Igglybuff is the berry specialist, I think. We did work on the Graveler a little bit. Togepi and Wynot are skill specialists. Nothing really too fantastic today in terms of things that we need for the team. If I remember correctly, Wynot's main skill is Dream Shard Magnet. I don't think we really want to prioritize that, but then I also think both Igglybuff, Igglybuff I think is energy for everybody. So that may actually be one to go for. Togepi is Metronome. We already have a good Golem and Geodude, so I'm not really concerned with prioritizing Golem, so I think Igglybuff is the way to go. We'll just give it the biscuit, see what happens. Alright, no mega or big hit, so not gonna take it home with us today, but that's alright. Not really anything too crazy today in the first place. Lounging sleep. That actually is a good question. What is the best candy to send out? Because I feel like none of these Pokemon really require a lot of candy to evolve. I think Togepi, even to get all the way to a Togetic, is only 60, but it may be more. So let's go ahead and send out the Togepi candy just to help out. I think that one could possibly be the most required to evolve. Only 107 research XP, which barely moved the needle, and 204 dream shards. barely giving us anything, but that's all right. It is the first sleep research of the week. Probably could have done better if I hadn't been so busy yesterday that I forgot to do lunch. So probably would have at least had a great one, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and collect from our helpers and see if this paid off. That's always good. I will always take charge strength. I did notice yesterday that Pikachu was having a hard time bringing in the apples, which is kind of what we expected, so we may need to swap Pikachu out. But before we do that, let's check. We have no new news today. So let's go ahead and grab our research community reports. 43 of them. Any levels? Got one? Just one, all right. 2 ingredient tickets, which I did use a few more of last night because I realized that I was at like 118 items and I can only hold 100, so I figured I might as well use something. I'm wondering if the reason for that power up at the start of the episode was because of sneaky snacking, because that menu or that window never popped up to tell me how much sneaky snacking we got. But I did yesterday. I collected berries from Cubone, I think twice, to see if I could get his skill to trigger, and it didn't trigger either time. So I think I'm just gonna leave him full and not collect anything, but we should have enough. We have exactly enough to make what we need. If I remember correctly, it is I think it's 15 apples. I don't remember it. I think it's 11 warming ginger. Hold on, let me see if I can remember before I check. Gotta work on getting my memory back. I think that's it. 15 apples, 11 ginger, and 9 mushrooms. Let's see. Yep. I do remember. My brain is not as smooth as I thought it was. And let's go ahead and throw in some of these fiery herbs, because that's exactly how many we need. So this will be a brand new recipe. Unfortunately, no level bonus with it, but hopefully we'll get a decent amount to get a pretty good level. Neroli's restore... Neroli? Is it Neroli? Neroli? I'm gonna go with Neroli. Neroli's restorative tea. A special restorative tea made by Professor Neroli. We did get, what was that, 6,702? Yeah, 6,702 from our first, I want to say cooking, but it's tea. Our first brewing of Neroli's restorative tea, which does put us into grade 1. And we got a new plump Snorlax and also a new recipe. So we get 20 more diamonds. Which I am always happy to take more diamonds. And we completed a mission as well. What is that? Yeah, great 1. Some more dream shards. Oh, we have to get to Master 3 now to get the incense. Ooh. Which actually, when I was looking at the team calculator yesterday, actually, let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at. So I went back to look at the team calculator, and I noticed that for some reason, oh, well, now it's back to Master 2. For some reason yesterday it said Master 3 for Tau Paulo, and now it says Master 2 again, and I'm not really sure why it's changing. I have my Was that why? Was it not? Was Tau Paulo not selected? No, that's not it. Let me go ahead and turn off dark mode because sometimes that messes with it. Yeah, we are on Tau Paulo, Master 2. Yeah, I don't know why it said Master 3 yesterday then. But I am thinking that maybe we need to, well, not maybe, I'm pretty sure we need to swap out that Pikachu for something else, because the apples are just not cutting it. And honestly, now that we've got the recipe, I'm not really super worried about leveling it up just yet. So I need to try to focus on something that we can get a little more consistently. I was thinking, I did set this team up, not that one. I did set this one up as kind of a template for something we might do. The only thing I don't like is that we have to get rid of one of our berry gatherers, and I like to have 2 for the whole week. So the problem with desserts that we're having is we just don't have a solid cacao gatherer. If we had an Absol, which I was hoping to find last week at Snowdrop, unfortunately didn't find it. Probably didn't even get to the proper Snorlax rank to be able to find it. But huge power soy donuts would be really good if we could consistently get cacao. 7 it doesn't sound like a lot, but Bayleaf is my only reliable cacao gatherer, and it's not a specialist. It's a berry, or it is a specialist. It's a berry specialist. So kind of unfortunate there in that we're not going to be able to get it as consistently as we want, because Bayleaf also doesn't have any sub skills or a nature that helps bring in ingredients. So while I do have the ability to gather all of these ingredients, getting a team together that can gather all of these ingredients is a lot more difficult. I suppose I could, if I wanted to really just try to maximize this. I think steadfast ginger cookies might be the easiest thing for me to make, where I drop out, I only have 1 berry specialist. Do I only have 1 berry specialist on this team? Because I feel like Butterfree can pretty consistently bring in honey. I just don't know exactly how reliable it is. Let me just plug in Butterfree real fast, see how much it's predicted to bring in. Yeah, only 8. Only 8.5 honey, because Butterfree is not an ingredient specialist. And I don't think I have a honey ingredient specialist either. This is kind of where I'm lacking, is specific ingredient specialists. I think Ivysaur is probably my best one. Oh, I forgot to send that Jigglypuff yesterday to the professor. I think Ivysaur is probably my best bet on bringing in. Well, actually, I wonder. Let's plug in Ivysaur and let's see what that looks like. 36 honey per day on average. That is significantly better, considering we need 14 per cook. So that would allow us 2 steadfast ginger cookies per day if it was consistently 36. So yeah, this is kind of where I'm at right now, just to give you guys a little idea into my thought process, into the team and what we're going to be doing. I don't want to sit here and keep you guys for an hour with me just looking at the team, trying to figure out the best way forward, but that is what I'm thinking about doing. I'm gonna think about it a little more over the next hour or 2 and try to come up with a solid plan to go forward, because I like having the ability to consistently make the same recipe so that we can have a more reliable expectation of what the week is going to look like in terms of our rank. So I'm going to figure that out off screen. Like I said, I'm not going to bore you guys with me just sitting here. But yeah, I'll figure that out. I'll have a breakdown of that for you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's episode. But with that said, that's what I've got for now. Appreciate you guys coming by and watching the video. Be sure to like it if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, later dudes. Good morning everyone and welcome back. We are on day 3 here on Taup Hollow on the hunt for Onyx. A little bit of a snafu yesterday saying I was on the hunt yesterday. I forgot he didn't spawn until later on, but today it's official. We know that almost said Snorlax, Onyx starts to spawn at Great 2. And then he has another sleep style at Ultra 2 if I remember correctly, and then one more at Master 2. So we are Great 3, so we do have a chance of seeing Onyx now. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with 9,691 sneaky snacking, and as you can tell, I switched up the team. So we're going to do things a little bit differently since you already know the team has changed. I just want to go through what my thought process was. We know that Onyx starts to spawn at Great 2. This new team is currently estimated to get us to Ultra 4, which also gets us to that Ultra 2 breakpoint for the second sleep style of Onyx. Since Onyx is really the main reason why we're here this week, I figured we could go ahead and switch the team up. Now, this team is not going to give us as much berry strength as the other team will, but that's fine because it's going to keep us in a lower Snorlax rating, which limits our spawn pools so that we can increase our odds of seeing Onyx by not diluting the spawn pool with a bunch of Pokemon that show up in the later ranks. So that's kind of my thought process here. This team, provided it works out the way I planned, which you can see the ingredients that they're going to be bringing in, and there is a slight error here. This should be set to always full pack. I don't plan to collect from Cubone, but this team with the ingredients coming in should allow us at least twice a day, hopefully more with ingredient magnet and just getting better luck, but at least twice a day let us make a recipe that is consistent and is pretty high up on the list, so will give us a decent amount of Snorlax power or drowsy power that will hopefully make up for the berry power that we lost a little bit. Like I said, trying to limit the spawn pool, so I'm not really worried about the rating this week, but that's why I switched up the team. That's the team we've got going forward for now. And let's jump on into our sleep research. But first we collect the 100 sleep points that we got for getting a decent amount of sleep. $11,702 is our new total. And now we jump into the moment of truth. Got session 109. Slept for 9 hours 23 minutes. As you can see, went to bed late. It was my fiance's birthday yesterday, so we were up late celebrating. 16% dozing, 56 snoozing, and 28 slumbering, which is not good. Slumbering is what we need. So that is unfortunate. I don't think we're gonna see an Onyx today. I believe all of the Onyx sleep styles spawn in slumbering only. Not quite 10 million, 9.6 million. With 3 2-star sleeps. Maybe we'll get something interesting at least. So nothing new. It's not really surprising. We got 2 Wobbuffets, a Diglett, an Eevee, and a Jigglypuff. But nothing new, but that's all right. Not super worried about getting anything new just yet. Ooh, we got a Hungry Diglett though. We have a Hungry Diglett, but I'm thinking with as good as the Doug trio, or yeah, as good as the Doug trio that we have is, I'm not entirely sure that I want to worry about Diglett right now, when we could try to get set up. Getting this EV, or at least starting on the EV, would help for next week during the EV week, so that every EV that we find is going to be at least friendship level 10 to get that guaranteed gold sub skill at level 10. So that's what we're gonna do. It unfortunately was not a big or mega hit, so we won't be taking anything home with us today, but we are set up for next time. And it's still early enough in the week that there's a good chance we'll see another Eevee. I think we saw one yesterday too. Speaking of Eevee, that is the candy we're gonna send out because so much of it is required. But that'll get us set up for the future. 408 research XP, that XP bar is creeping ever so slowly. And another 631 dream shards. And another 92 strength gained for sneaky snacking. Oh, we do have new news. New maintenance. All right, let's see what we got. Thank you for playing Pokemon Sleep. You're welcome. Maintenance period is November 15th, 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., which is today. Let's see. That's kind of early for maintenance, doesn't it? Usually start at like 8:30. And it ends at 11:30. Yeah, usually, if I remember correctly, it usually starts at like 8:30 and runs till about 2 in the morning or something like that, or maybe 12:30. That is interesting. All right, points to be updated. New features, always fun. Changes to allow a player to receive 5 candies of a randomly selected Pokemon capable of evolving with a link cable when they use a link cable from the bag screen. So that sounds like instead of changing the friendship level 3 reward to a random evolution item, they're saying, hey, we know you guys have far too many link cables. So instead of just throwing them away, we'll give you 5 free candies. Which, I mean, yeah, is nice, but let's be honest, what we all wanted was random evolution items at level 3, not link cables and candies. It is better than what we have. I'll say that. It is for sure better than the system we have now, where we're just throwing away link cables and they're just a waste and nobody wants them. But it's not what we wanted, but I'll take progress. Progress is good. Changes to the research community specs so that when a player receives research data from friends, it will be possible to occasionally receive 2 candies instead of 1. Note, the higher your closeness with friends, the higher the chance you'll get 2 candies. So we now have a reason to keep people that are level 5 going forward. And it is interesting that there's a chance of getting 2 candies instead of just 1, even at lower levels, that it's not just achieving rank 5 gives you that chance. So that's good that you'll have that chance all the way throughout, but particularly the best chance when you are rank 5 with your friends. So that's pretty good. Not too bad. Gives us something for rank 5 friends. Adding new relaxing sounds and alarms, finally. Note, you can download them from the sleep tracking screen. Fantastic. Because that default alarm, not the biggest fan. Ooh, scrolled up too much. Adding a notice on the sleep research results screen when the researcher is already at the max research rank, explaining that research XP has been converted into dream shards. Notes, the current highest rank is 50, which surely some people have reached rank 50. I'm not that close to it. Maybe you guys are. If you're rank 50, let me know how quickly you got there, because that seems like it'd be pretty far off for most players, especially free-to-players. We're currently working on the development of events and other opportunities to use dream shards in a new way, which means that those Pokemon with dream shard magnet as a main skill might actually become more viable. 'Cause even for me, I had 130,000 dream shards at one point, and I noticed yesterday, just without paying attention, that I'm down to like 70,000 now. So dream shards are going to be almost like Stardust in Pokemon Go, if you play Pokemon Go, to where we may start to need them more and more for different things, and it becomes the most valuable resource in the game. So we'll see what happens in the future, but that is good that we're gonna have. Ooh, I don't know why I'm scrolling too far up. That is good that we're gonna have something to use our dream shards on that isn't just leveling up. Changes that what is going on? Changes to sleep XP specs so that if a helper Pokemon has reached its max level, which is 100, any extra sleep XP earned through sleep research will be added to the sleep XP bonus gauge. Each time the sleep XP bonus gauge fills up to 500 XP, you will receive 1 Handy Candy S. That's good. So Pokemon that hit level 100 are not only useful for their sub-skills, you also get Handy Candies out of them. Example, if you receive 100 sleep XP and all 5 of the Pokemon on your team are at max level, then 500 XP, because it's per Pokemon, 100 times 5, will be added to the gauge and you will receive 1 Handy Candy S, which is pretty good. I mean, essentially, if you have a team of Pokemon that's all level 100, 1 free Handy Candy a day, not too bad. The Sleep XP bonus gauge can be found in the following places on the Your Sleep session pop-up that displays after sleep tracking. This only applies if you had a max level Pokemon on your team when you finished sleep tracking. From a button on the upper right of the Pokemon screen, this is only viewable by users who have some XP stored in the bonus gauge. Note, current max level for Pokemon is 50. Oh. I did not know that. I thought they could achieve level 100. So wait, Pokemon can't even get to level 60 for their second ingredient unlock? That doesn't make any sense. Surely that's got to be a typo. Current max level for Pokemon is 50. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. That wouldn't make any sense. Why have sub skills and ingredients unlocked beyond level 50 if they could only get to level 50 right now? That's strange. Anyway, moving on. Game content. Changes to show a notification mark on the home screen shop icon, as well as the shop screen's general store icon whenever new bundles are added to the shop. Adjustments to the weekly rollovers so that if Snorlax have already requested the same kind of food a certain number of times in a row, they will be less likely to choose the same one again. That's cool. That will make it less likely to where you have, I think someone in the comments was saying they had, what was it? They hadn't had salads in like 7 weeks, or had only had a specific dish for 7 weeks or something like that. And then me, I had curries for like 4 weeks straight. So that's good. It'll help give a little bit more variety. And then changes to the sleep style dex so that if a researcher evolves a shiny Pokemon, the evolved Pokemon's shiny version will count as discovered. Makes sense. Bug fixes specific to Android. On Android devices, the screen brightness within the app reverting to how it was set before sleep tracking, even if the brightness was adjusted after sleep tracking. I did run into that quite a lot. You would, you'd start sleep tracking and then turn your phone's brightness down. And then when you'd wake up in the morning, you'd look at your phone and it'd be bright. But yeah, that is something that happened a few times. So definitely a good fix. Not a huge fix, but a good one. Bug fixes, in general, a closeness increase display of +1 appearing on the research community screen for friends who are already at max closeness. Oh, okay, so just sounds like it was adding when it couldn't add, so not that big a deal. And then some text displaying incorrectly, such as Pokemon nicknames and numbers of items held. I never ran into that, but good that they're fixing it. So cool, all around a pretty good good round of maintenance that they're gonna, or not maintenance, good round of fixes in the update and changes particularly being able to get double candy potentially from friends. That's really good. And there was the other one that, how am I already drawing a blank and forgetting it? It was the very first one. No, it wasn't, because that one was just okay. Yeah, maybe it was just the double candy that I was really excited about. Oh yeah, the sleep XP bonus gauge. That one won't come into play for me, especially for a long time, but good that we have something to do beyond level 100 and all that XP isn't just going to waste. But checking our research community, we do have 45 new reports. There's a level up. JP, another level, so just 2 today. But yeah, that also means that Pokemon who have sleep XP increasing sub skill at level 100, that sub skill is not useless anymore because that's more bonus gauge XP. Another 766 sneaky snacking, which is good, but not really what we're concerned with right now. We are going to try to make this brand new recipe. That's not helpful, Bayleaf. We need more. We'll take the candy though. We need more cocoa than that, Bayleaf. I'm gonna need you to get it together. And I did use some more ingredient tickets because I was at the item cap for my bag, so I just went ahead and used some just to clear out a little bit of space. Still have quite a few left, but I did use some. And we are not going to make any of these recipes. This recipe that I'm going to make is going to be brand new, provided I have enough to make it. And it does look like I do. So we need 14 honey. We need 12 warming ginger. And another benefit of this recipe is that it's a high required ingredient count. So as we level this up, the level bonus applied to it should be pretty good. 5 cacao and 4 eggs. And then we are just going to fill the rest in with some mushrooms and that 1 pure oil just to get that out of our inventory. And I'm going to hope that I made this right. I may not have made this right. Why does it only say 622? That's kind of concerning. Ooh, that's good though. Extra tasty on the first try. Steadfast ginger cookies. 13,303. So much for keeping Snorlax's rating low. I did get it extra tasty on dinner last night too. So maybe my extra tasty luck is turning around when I don't want it to. These cookies give you the power to tackle hardships without crumbling. Poetic. I was just saying I didn't want Snorlax's rating to get too high to dilute the spawn pool, and then here come 2 extra tasties back to back. But it's not the worst thing that could happen. Rate 4. I do kind of feel like Ultra 2 is where I want to not focus on strength gained as much, because that gives us 2 Onyx. I almost said Snorlax again. It gives us 2 Onyx spawns, or potential spawns. So kind of feel like that's where I want to slow down a little bit on the strength gained. Not really focus on it too much. We already got our 20 diamonds for the new cookies. And I think that sets us up for the rest of the week. We should be pretty good. I had an excess of cocoa and eggs. Eggs, I'm not really worried about as much. Togetic is pretty good about bringing in a decent amount of eggs. Where did you go? There you are. Togetic's usually pretty good about bringing in a decent amount of eggs, and we only need 4 for each cooking, so we've got a few there. Bayleaf, not the best cocoa gatherer, but it's the only one I have that's even somewhat consistent. Unfortunately, we don't have an Absol that I was trying to find in Snowdrop Tundra last week, but I don't even think we got to where Absol could spawn. Once we get Absol or something better that can bring in Cocoa, we'll have an easier time. But we only need 5 per dish, so we do have some surplus if we need it. And the rest, the honey and the warming ginger, should be super easy to bring in with these two. So I'm not worried about those. But that's where we are now. That's kind of what we're looking at for the rest of the week. Let me know if you found an onyx today. Hopefully you did. But with that said, that's all I've got for today. Appreciate you watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, later dudes. Good morning everyone and welcome back. We are here on day 4 in Taup Hollow on the hunt for onyx still. And we're starting off with a recovery incense for going to bed on time. And we have a couple of menus layered on top of each other, and I think this was a problem last time, but we did get 8,249 sneaky snacking. Most of that from our Cubone. Okay, looks like it worked. So 11,802 is our new current sleep point total. Quite a ways away from our goal, but we did hit rank 5 now. That counting seemed kind of off. Yeah, it looks like we should be at rank 6. Wow. It looks like we should be at Ultra 1 as well. So I think we ran into that that bug that doesn't trigger the rank up animation. But yeah, the game is just seeming kind of weird. All the sounds seem really delayed to me. We're on session 110. Let's just jump into it. We'll see what happens. 8 hours, 37 minutes. Just like we're supposed to. A decent amount of slumbering, so that's good. Hopefully we get that slumbering type because that's what we need. There we go. So now we're in the money. The hunt for onyx is truly on. I know onyx is a 1-star, so we don't want to get too many 2-stars. That's good. That's good. 5 1-stars, so I think we've got 5 shots at onyx and then a top belly, so we got some decent XP, which is not the biggest concern right now, but nice to have. Ooh, I do see something nice down there in the bottom corner. There is one new sleep, but we did get a Larvitar, Togepi, Geodude, and 2 Why Nots. Why not onyx? All right, moment of truth. Where are you? Oh. Well, that's cool too. The Pupitar falling over sleep.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I fell down. That's pretty funny. So no onyx today. Nobody's hungry. Ooh, that is a interesting question. Do we feed the Larvitar and take that home, or do we work more on the Pupitar? I don't. Huh. I think we go ahead and we just take the Larvitar for now. Take the Larvitar, and next time we see the Pupitar, we'll work on that a little bit more. We have a really good one, so I'm not super concerned with getting something new, because it's going to be very rare or very hard for us to get anything better than what we have. But if we can get something a bit better, it would be nice, especially if it's already evolved into a Pupitar. That would help a lot in resources as far as leveling up. Because this is so rare and requires so many resources, we of course send out the Larvitar candy. And we got, what is that, 13 that we would have got, or 8? We got 3 and yeah, just 8 candies, which is not a lot for what we need with Larvitar. Almost rank 35, 898 XP and 1150 dream shards. Let's check out this Larvitar, see if we got the magic 100%. Bold nature, probably not, but let's see. I always lose where Larvitar is. There you are. All right, so we have ginger, soybean. Not terrible. Skill trigger S. Helping bonus, which is pretty good. Helping bonus is nice. Helping speed S. Ingredient finder S. And skill level up S. So not bad. Not bad at all. But bold, yeah. Yeah, bold kind of ruins this one. Already has a pretty low speed of help, and having a bold nature does not help. Yeah, best case scenario, this is 68% at level 50. So unfortunately, that's just not very good. So I think we will be sending that one off to the professor, but at least that's more candy. More candy for us. And another 236 sneaky snacking while we were hunting for Onyx. Okay, there we go. Well, that's weird. Got to be another display error saying we're at grade 5 now. Yeah, because it said grade 5 before and then transformed into grade 5. That's strange, but okay. Still ironing out the kinks in the game. Let's see, updates. So this is what we had yesterday. Everything nice and fresh. Now let's see if we get any double candies from our research community. 45 reports. So we got, oh, so this actually seems like it's not a very low chance, because the level 3 friend got 2 candy, level 2 friend 2 candy, level 3 2 candy. Let's see who else gave us 2 candies, or is it only showing the 2 candies at the top? Oh, okay. So that's why it seemed like it was not as rare. It seems like it could just be luck. Maybe I just got lucky and the first 3 friends gave me 2 candy, but it does seem like it's more likely that it just shows the friends that give you double candy at the top so you can see it. So double Celio, double Ivysaur, which is good. We need that, and double Marowak or Cubone. I said all of those weird, but that's a level 5 friend. Giffle. Only 1 level up today. So some double handy candy there. And speaking of handy candy, we probably need to go and see what we can do about our team, because they do need a little bit of a boost. I need 80 candy to get my Venusaur. How much would it take to get to level 24? It would take, let's see, let's back it up. It would take 76. I have enough handy candy that I could get this to Venusaur, I think. Let's see. 28 times 3, that would be 60 plus 24, 84. So yeah, I have enough if I wanted to do that. Not entirely sure that I want to just yet. This one, we got a long way to go. Honestly, I think it's worth just dropping all of those candies in there. It's because of how far we have to go. With how far we have to go to get this to evolve and the high percentage rating of it, I think it's worth that investment. Level 21, we do want to, I think I want to save those candies. I want to try to get the 40 built up before I get there. And then you could evolve right now. I just don't have a shiny stone and I don't want to spend the sleep points on it. So I need to figure out, let's go. There is a cool little menu in the calculator where you can go to items, evolution items, and shiny stone. Let's see if it will tell me where I can get a shiny stone. It does not, unfortunately, tell me where I can get a shiny stone. I know you can get it from the shop. But I think there is I think I saw someone at one point say there was was it a medal, I think, that gives you a shiny stone, but I don't remember what it is. So I need to look into that and figure out how we can get that shiny stone, because having this as a togetic, even though it's not truly an ingredient specialist, it's a skill specialist. But with the sub skills this one has, it makes it kind of a hybrid ingredient skill specialist, and it is very good about giving me eggs. So I kind of want to keep it around. Then this one, yeah, we got a long way to go to get the 80 candies, and I'm not really super happy with where it is stat wise, so I don't think I'm going to do anything. So we may, I don't know. I really think I want to do this. Kind of feel like I do. This one has Berry Finding S at level 50, which will turn it into a pretty solid hybrid honey, tomato, and berry gatherer. With an ingredient finding and main skill chance down, which is unfortunate for ingredient magnet, but overall it's not terrible. So I might do that. I'm gonna give that one a little more of a think, and maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Another 216 sneaky snacking. Let's go ahead and collect these berries and ingredients. And ooh, there we go, metronome. Bonus help from, who was that? It said Berry 77, right? Is that the Cubone? Nope, that was the bay leaf. Now I'm not sure how bonus help works, since I already clicked on the bay leaf. Oh well, I guess it just triggered a collection maybe at ×5 help. There we go. Main skill triggered, 12 energy. That's fantastic, actually. That's really good to get first thing in the morning. Collect all those pecha berries, all that honey and Durin berries. And then let's get some breakfast going. Ooh, what are we missing? We are missing some honey. How much do we have? We have 12. We need 14 honey, or 2 more honey. All right, I'm gonna try a couple of ingredient tickets. Let's see if we can get that, because I really want to make those cookies as much as we possibly can, just to get them leveled up. Let's see, we're at 79 out of 120, so we could use a few. Oh, and we're at exactly 100 out of 100 items. So let's use 2 of these just to drop it back down to 10. And there's the honey we need. Go ahead and use the other one. Pure oil and cacao. Cacao's very good too. That's a hard one for us to get. I will take it. So now we can make our cookies. We will throw all of these Well, not all of them. 4 of the mushrooms in there. All right. And we're already at a level bonus of 16%, so we're doing pretty good there. 7,651. And I stopped 14 shy of a level up last time. Which isn't really that big of a deal, but it always is just like, couldn't have just been a little bit stronger. So that should put us pretty close to Ultra 1. I'm really just trying to get to Ultra 2 to get that second possible Onyx sleep style. And we're getting a little closer to that. Let's see, what do we need? 206. So yeah, we're only 42,000 away from it. That is not terribly difficult to get to. So hopefully we can get pretty close to that. I would like to get to that today if I can. Just to get that second Onyx sleep style unlocked, but unfortunately it may be, just with the team we have going, it may be tomorrow before we get there. But that's the plan for today, and that's all I've got for you for now. So thanks for coming by and watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, later dudes. Good morning everyone and welcome back. We are on day 5 here on, where did we go? Where are we at? Yeah, Talp Hollow. Completely drew a blank. That's how scatterbrained my mind has been these last couple weeks. But we're going to start off with some 11,944 sneaky snacking, which is pretty good. A lot more than what I expect. Well, no, I did check before I went to sleep last night, and Cubone here had, I think it was 3 or 4 main skill triggers yesterday. So it was only at like 78 or 79% energy when I went to sleep. So that may be why, because his efficiency was a lot higher than typical. But pretty good, I will take it. I wasn't able to get to Ultra 2 last night like I wanted. So unfortunately, today's sleep will still only be the one possible chance for Onyx. But we've got 11,902 total sleep points. And let's just go ahead and jump into it, see if we can find that Onyx that we have been searching for. If we got the right sleep type. That has been the biggest issue for me with the Onyx. I cannot talk today with the Onyx hunt, is that both Onyx and Steelix only spawn on slumbering sleep. So gotta hope that you got it and it doesn't. I might have just barely. There we go. Okay, good. So we do have a chance for Onyx today. I actually haven't looked to see when Steelix starts to spawn, but I assumed that it was just in the master ranks. Well, not looking too great. I think that means we only have 3 possible Onyx spawns. Nothing is on screen now, so let's see. All 6 sleep styles that we already had. Quite a few duplicates. Got 2 Geodudes, which I didn't think I had buried sleep, but I guess so. 2 Geodudes, a Graveler, a Riolu, why not, and an Igglybuff. Still no Onyx today, unfortunately. Game's crashing though, I can tell. Okay, we're back. Straight into the feeding phase. Nobody's hungry, it looks like. Although there was a weird way that it loaded in, so I'm not really sure what that was about. We don't have the Eevee that we fed yesterday, which is unfortunate. Not really super worried about a Geodude right now. That shiny that we got was actually pretty solid. I do need a better Igglybuff, and we've already started feeding this one, so let's just go ahead and finish that off, and we'll take an Igglybuff home with us today. think I have a pretty decent one, but definitely doesn't hurt to have a better one. Let's go ahead and take that with us and move on. Honestly, getting a better why not wouldn't be the worst case scenario either, with them talking about giving us more reasons to use or more methods to use our dream shards. Having a good dream shard magnet Pokemon may not be the worst, and I'm pretty sure that why not is it why not, or is it Riolu, or is it both? I know for sure Riolu, but I don't know, maybe it's both. Let's send out some Riolu candy today. Quite a bit of candy from these sleep styles. Oh, okay. I was confused for a second why we got 7 candies for a 2 and a 3 star, but it's because the 2 star was an evolution. But that is enough XP to get us to level 35. I will take a free grape biscuit. Those are always nice. So 942 XP and 1668 dream shards. That is pretty good for a fairly underwhelming sleep research. But let's go ahead and jump into figuring out if this Igglybuff is gonna be sticking around or if we're gonna send it to live with the professor. We have a level 10 with Timid, and Igglybuff is a skill specialist with honey, and oil. Not too bad actually on the ingredient front. Sub skills, skill trigger S is a great start. Inventory up S, and then we've got inventory up M. Not the best to have both, and inventory up L. Not good to have all 3 for sure. And helping speed S at level 100. So these sub skills are pretty bad. XP gains, a timid nature is also very bad. So not looking very promising. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be in terms of the skill trigger value. I'm actually kind of surprised it's that high with only skill trigger S and not nature to help out. But overall, let's check out the total strength. Yeah, total strength is very, very poor. So this is saying it couldn't be much worse. A calm nature would make it worse. Would it? I feel like a calm nature would actually be better than what I have. But interesting. Sub skills. Yeah, those could make it worse. I don't know. Only a 70 point difference in strength between mine and the worst. So that is pretty bad. So, yay! Guess this one is not going to be living with us. We will be sending this one to live with the professor. But we did get another point on the Igglybuff friendship, so that's good. All right. Another 330 sneaky snacking. Oh, we got a medal. Oh, 2 new news. Is it? Yeah, 2 new news. All right. 3. Okay, well, we kind of see what they are. So let's go ahead and jump into the good sleep day. Let's get those dates and if there's anything different. I'm just going to skim through this one pretty quickly because we typically know what this is. Rest the very best, night of a full moon. So drowsy power again is multiplied by 1.5 on day 1 and 3, and on the day of the full moon it will be multiplied by 4. That's different. Well, day 1, November 26th, which is Sunday, is 1.5. Day 2, maybe it's because it's a Monday they're multiplying it by 4, since Monday most of us aren't going to have a very high Snorlax rank, so maybe they're just trying to make it feel a little more special rather than multiplying you know, what, 1 million drowsy power times 2. So maybe that's what the deal is. Which, if that's the case, it's good to know that they're taking that into account, and we'll just have to wait and see if that's going to be the case going forward. So yeah, day 1, Sunday, November 26th, day 2, Monday, November 27th, and day 3, Tuesday, November 28th. So we get 1.5 times on day 1 and 3, and 4 times on day 2. Good to know. Very good. It looks like the bonus sleep points are the same, and it looks like the bonus sleep XP multiplier is the same, times 2 on days 1 and 3, and times 3 on day 2. So yeah. Oh, they do go on to explain it. From now on, the multipliers for drowsy power on the night of a full moon during good sleep day events will depend on the day of the week. So that is the case. It seems like they are doing this to take into account the lower drowsy power at the beginning of the week. So on Mondays, if the second day of the event, which is the day of the full moon, falls on Monday, it's times 4 multiplier to drowsy power. If it falls on a Tuesday, it's times 3. Falls on a Wednesday, it is times 2.5. And then any other day, Thursday through Sunday, it will be times 2, which pretty fair. That makes sense. I get why they did it. No worries, no concerns there. Drowsy power on the days before and after a full moon will always be 1.5 regardless of the day of the week. Could be better, but that's fine. I don't have any complaints about that. Important, each day of the good sleep event rolls over at 4. This is all the standard stuff that they say for every event. Make sure you start tracking before 4 o'clock, all that fun jazz. So there is new stuff there. Good change. Happy with that. Well, let's check out these good sleep day bundles. So we usually get, I think we've gotten them every time, the good sleep day bundles to go along with the good sleep day event. Looks like we're getting 1 bundle this time around, just like always. So the good sleep day bundle volume 4, which is available November 24th, which is Friday, I believe, until November 29th, which I think is Tuesday. So the bundle contents, we've got 2 growth incense, 2 luck incense, 2 focus incense, and 9 great biscuits for 1,500 diamonds. Not a terrible price for all of that. 9 great biscuits, typically 1,800 diamonds. So to get the great biscuits, and unfortunately no friend incense. Those are usually the ones I like to go for on the good sleep day. But growth incense is really good for the night of the full moon when you get the times 3 multiplier. If you have a Pokemon that has what is it, sleep XP bonus, that gives a bonus to the XP your Pokemon earn, and then the times 3 multiplier and a growth incense, you end up with I think it's 6.8 times XP, if I remember correctly. So you can get like 600 and something XP just for 1 night's sleep if you get a full 8.5 hours. So that's not too bad. Again, I'm not going to be buying it. I definitely don't have the diamonds to buy it anyway. So even if I wanted to buy it, couldn't. But if you got the diamonds, it doesn't seem like a bad bundle, especially for the 9 great biscuits. That's not terrible. And 2 of each of the incense. Again, can't talk today. 2 of each of the incense except for the friend incense. So not too bad. Not too bad. And then happening soon, Eevee Week, which we did know about already, begins at 4 a.m. November 20th, which is still 3 days away at this point. Eevee Week 2023, a week-long event. Celebrate Eevee Day, November 21st, during which Eevee and its evolutions are more likely to gather sleep. You'll be able to encounter Pokemon of different sleep types regardless of your own, and Eevee and its evolutions will be more likely to appear. If you're lucky, you might even meet a shiny Eevee. We do. So for conducting sleep research on Eevee Day, November 21st, we do get an extra 1,121 bonus sleep points, which will help me make up for all the sleep points I spent during Halloween. EV incense through special missions. Feel like this is pretty much what we read earlier this week. Yeah, day 1 Monday, day 7 Sunday, so it's the entire week. Participating in the event is easy. Just tap the sleep and record your sleep like you normally do. Doesn't matter. That is the main point. Why does it always do that? That is the main point, is that you can do this on any island, so you're not limited to green grass. Go to whatever island you want to go to that has, if you want to catch the evolution instead of the Eevee, go to the island that has the evolution that you're looking for. And then, yeah, this just runs through everything we discussed the other day, that November 21st, greater chance to see Eevee and its evolutions, and the bonus 1,121 sleep points. Sleep styles don't matter. It'll be as if you had a balanced sleep style, regardless of what sleep style you actually get. And main skills for all helper Pokemon are 1.5 times more likely to be triggered. That said, this is something you can do. I'm not saying you should do. If you want to stock up on ingredients at the beginning of the week, have all 5 of your team members be ingredient magnet main skills, and try to get that to proc as much as possible and fill up your ingredient bag. That's a good time to do that if that's what you want to do. That also applies to any of the other main skills, so if you want to get those to proc more often, do that as well. Other days, November 20th and the 22nd through the 26th, also increased chance of Eevee and the evolutions. Sleep style doesn't matter regardless of what you get. It looks like you still get balanced and still have a 1.5 times more likely to trigger main skills. So yeah, that's what I'm not gonna say that's what I would do, because I don't know that I want to do that, but getting ingredient magnets and starting out that way, not a bad way to start the week. Get stocked up and then you can not have to worry about it for a while. Pokemon that are easier to encounter, you're gonna see Eevee probably quite a lot. They say much greater, but in fairness, they said that for the Halloween Pikachu, and I feel like we didn't see it all that often. I think we only saw 4 or 5 throughout the week, and a couple of them were doubled up. Maybe I saw a couple more than that, but around 5, which is a decent amount. But I know there were a lot of people that reported they only saw 1 or 2 the entire week. That is unfortunately how RNG works, though. Some people see 20 of them for the week. Some people only see 1 or 2. That is unfortunately the nature of the beast. And then, did not mean to do that. And then greater appearance of all the evolutions. So you do have a good chance of seeing those. Flareon, Espeon and Sylveon being some of the better ones that you could go for if you just want to skip evolving the Eevee completely. Those would be the ones I'd recommend really looking at to see if they're going to fit in a good place on your team. But Vaporeon and Umbreon also are a close runner-up that maybe they'll fit on your team in certain specific scenarios. Jolteon, of course I gotta say Jolteon because it's my favorite of the evolutions. A fantastic berry gatherer, has a really high speed. I think it's like 30 minutes or something like that is the frequency, 35 minutes, but it's kind of a one-trick pony, and it only really helps when you have I think it's Greppa berries is what they're called, the electric type berries. So if you need it, go for it. But I wouldn't, unfortunately, Jolteon's not as good as I would like it to be. But Flareon, Espeon, and Sylveon, top tier. Actually, Glaceon is a really good one to look into if you want an Ice Berry gatherer as well. So keep that in mind. That's worded kind of weird. The much greater appearance rate for, no, it's not. I just don't know how to read. The much greater appearance rate for Eevee applies to all areas, regardless of the island you're on, and then they list which island you need to be on for the evolutions. So be sure to take the next couple days, look into all the evolutions, what they're good at, what they're bad at, what niches they fill, see if you need them for your team, and then do your research on the island where they spawn if you want to just catch them outright without evolving an Eevee. You'll only be able to see one sleep style each for Flareon and Leafeon. Other sleep styles will be viewable in a new area that will be added in the future, which we knew we were going to get new islands, but I think this is the first time in news that they've actually talked about it. So that's interesting for the future. And then the rest is the typical, make sure you sleep by 4 a.m. The day rolls over at 4 a.m. Start sleep tracking by then and all that other fun reminders. But yeah, Eevee Week should be pretty interesting. Number of fighting types studied, 30, 10 diamonds. Thank you, please. Yeah, really good news. Happy about that. Kind of excited about Eevee Week. I have not evolved any of my Eevees. I do need some better ones before I do that. So really looking forward to Eevee Week. We've got 42 reports and 5 doubled up candies. And only one of them is rank 5. So just on my limited anecdotal experience, it seems that I'm getting about 10% of my friends doubling up on candy, which is not a bad number, especially since this is the only one that's been rank 5 that doubled. Yesterday I had, I think three that doubled up out of 45 reports, and none of them were rank 5. So it does seem like there's a fairly good chance to get double candy. So not too bad, not too bad. Kind of liking how that is going so far. But that said, let's go ahead and jump into making some breakfast. I know Snorlax is hungry, as am I. I haven't had a chance to eat yet. We did get a metronome triggered. What is it going to be? Cream shard magnet. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to eat yet. Woke up to a few piles of dog vomit today, so I had to spend some time cleaning that up, and then got time to record the episode, which I'm recording a little later than I normally would, just barely squeaking in breakfast here because of that. And so I haven't even had a chance to eat yet, but we're gonna feed Snorlax. We do have everything we need for, ooh, I don't have any extra ingredients. Ginger seems to be pretty easy for me to get. Larvitar is very, very consistent about bringing me quite a lot of ginger, so let's just throw that in there to get the bonus. Chewing is important too. 7,550 on those steadfast ginger cookies. Just shy of level 13. Yeah, I'm kind of liking how the team is so far. I do wish that we had been on Ultra 2 last night just to get that extra potential Onyx spawn, but overall, this team has been doing great. It's keeping me a little lower in the ranks so that I'm not just diluting the spawn pools. And it has been good to consistently have the ingredients to cook what I want. We did get another 2 potential spawns or sleep styles, which one of those should have been Onyx. We did complete a mission. Let's go ahead and grab that while we're at it. Dream cluster. My bag is full. Maybe it's about time to let's see. Is it that time? It might be. What is it? General store? Is that where it's at? Let's see. 635 diamonds. Expand item pocket. I think it is that time. Because I've been getting that message quite a lot lately. All right, now let's go and collect our dream cluster. And then I did ask you guys in the pinned comment yesterday if I should evolve this Ivysaur using handy candies, and the answer I got was probably not. While it is good, the sub skills are not ordered in the most desirable way. I slightly disagree. I like the inventory up being early on because that is more time that's less frequently that I have to come back and check the game to make sure that its pack is cleared out. But it would be nice if only the inventory up S or L were up front and one of them swap places with the ingredient finder. That would have been fantastic. So really, this Ivysaur, while it does look great because you're only seeing the 81%, which is what it averages out to over its level 60 life, you're not seeing the progress there. And if I remember correctly, its rank is very low until 50 and 30, 50, and 60 when it unlocks the new tomatoes and berry finding. So I think for now we're just gonna invest the candies that we get naturally into it. We're not gonna put any handy candies in it. But that said, that does mean that I can get it to a little bit of a higher level, or maybe not. I may only invest the candies above 80 and just make sure that I always have 80 candies so that when we get there, we have what we need to evolve it. Because 4 levels ultimately is not going to make much of a difference in its frequency. And using the candies will just help us get it there a little bit faster. But that's what we got. That's where we're at. And that's what I've got for you today with another 884 sneaky snacking to sign off. Thanks for coming around and watching the video. Be sure to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 6 here in Taup Hollow, getting ready for Eevee week, but still on the hunt for Onyx. Not for a dream cluster. I want an Onyx. Unfortunately, we have not been lucky, and that 3,099 sneaky snacking to start off with is a little deceptive. Again, I was a little slow closing the game out this morning. I think I got like 9,000 sneaky snacking before I was able to close the game out. So about 12,000, 13,000, something like that overnight in total. And does put us at Ultra 3. At this point, I'm not super worried about ranking up very quickly. I don't think we're going to get to the point where Steelix is a potential spawn. So I'm not really worried about ranking up and diluting the spawn pool anymore. So I'm not really, I might switch out. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I might switch out the Cubone for an ingredient specialist like Butterfree or something, just to stock up on ingredients for tomorrow, since I'm not really trying to rank up all that much right now. But we did get 100 sleep points, which puts us to 12,002. And let's just jump straight into this sleep research and see if we're gonna get lucky. First things, okay. So the other day when I was saying it sounds like the game is running slow, it seems like since the update, maybe they just changed the frequency at which the sounds play. I don't like it. I'm so used to the faster pace that now that it's slowed down, it throws me off a bit. 10 hours and 4 minutes of sleep. I slept quite a while, which I did need it. Definitely not getting slumbering today, so no Snorlax. That sleep was all over the place. No Snorlax. I'm trying to think of what's on snoozing that would be interesting. And 23 million's pretty good. 2 2-stars, 1 3-star. Not too bad. Maybe we'll at least get something new. Something new is always nice. Ooh, I think that's a new... Nope, it's not a new Charmeleon. We did get something new, though. That was only 6. So we got the Charmeleon, the Diglett, 2 Charmanders, and 2 Rattatas. which I don't remember getting that Rattata sleep before, but apparently I did somewhere. So I got a new 2-star sleep, I think. Where is it at? Where are you? Ah, there you are, Doug Trio. Above ground sleep. So we got a Diglett sleeping underground and a Doug Trio sleeping above ground. Covering all our bases today. You have studied all the Pokemon gathered. Nobody's hungry. That is unfortunate. However, given what has spawned here, that's a tough call. I really wanted to I really wanted to work on the Charmander because we still need a better one. But that Doug Trio is right there, ready to go. I think we need a better Charmander more than we need a Doug Trio. But I also feel like Doug Trio doesn't spawn as frequently for me. I feel like I see Charmander pretty often because I don't even remember when I saw that Doug Trio and when I have fed it before. I think we are going to go ahead and we'll take the Doug Trio home with us today. And we'll have to work on Charmander another time. I really just want to see how good this Doug Trio is. While I do have a pretty decent one, I still definitely could use a better one. So let's see what we've got. Hopefully something good. Let's see. You know what? Let's go ahead and send out some Charmander candy. Charizard is one of the best. I don't know. I've seen a few tier lists. There's a few of them put Charizard at the top. I can see that, but I haven't personally experienced that. So maybe it is, maybe it's not. But let's send out some Charmander candy to help people out one way or the other. 971 XP and 2,616 Dream Shards. Bringing home a shiny, well, not a shiny, but a brand new Doug Trio at level 18. All right, so let's see what we've got. Doug Trio. Oh, well, we can tell already that it's got Berry Finder S at level 10. We've got Triple Tomatoes, which is not the best. Definitely would have preferred Tomato and Double Leak, but could be worse. All right, and then we got Ingredient Finder S, which is good. Skill Trigger M. I mean, that's all right. It's got a pretty decent main skill. Sleep XP bonus and skill level up M. So not the best sub skills. Really gonna kind of depend on that nature. Naughty. Okay, so that's not great given its sub skills. With a couple of the sub skills focused around the main skill going off. Having Naughty with the main skill chance down is not the best, but it does kind of counterbalance that, or balance out that nature. So maybe it's not too bad. No evolution count. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it actually did not go up as much as I thought it would at level 25. That's probably because it's just an Ingredient Finder S. Let's see. What if we made this, hypothetically, if we used a subscale seed? It is infinitely better. Well, not infinitely, but vastly better with just that one subskill seed. Quite a bit better. It's already down to 40 minutes. That nature putting in a lot of work. don't know. I might hold on to this one. I don't know if I'm gonna put a sub-skill seed into it. The ingredient finder S, I was right on it. I don't know if I would put a sub-skill seed on it. This is not a bad hybrid. Let's check out the total strength. Okay, well, total strength is very high. I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating this one a little bit. You guys let me know what you think about this one in the comments. I'm not really too sure where I land on my opinion with this one. I guess let me go ahead and just throw it in the box for now. We'll hold on to it. Let's see what you guys think about it. Let me go ahead and pull up the other Doug Trio that we have just for comparison. So ingredient strength, this is where we're at. So this is the one that we had already for ingredient strength. We've got 85, 77, 90, 90, 85, 82, which is pretty good to me. The sub skills, inventory up S, ingredient finder S, helping speed, skill trigger, skill level up. Kind of similar sub skills outside of the berry finding, but mostly similar. And then the nature is mild, so we have this is easier. Ingredient finding up and energy recovery down. But the total strength, as you can tell, the total strength is way lower rated than the Doug Trio we just caught. So I don't know. I'll let you guys have that information. You guys tell me what you think. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure that we want to swap these Doug Trios out, because the old Doug Trio does have leaks at level 30. So I don't know. Maybe I should keep both and just use them as needed whenever the situation calls for one or the other. But that's where we're at now. Like I said, I'm going to hold off on this. I'll keep this one for now, see what you guys think, and then we'll reconvene on this at another time. But let's go ahead and move on. Don't want to spend too much time just sitting there staring at two different Doug Trios. Another 356 sneaky snacking. Let's go ahead and check. No new news today, which makes sense. We had a ton of news yesterday. 50 ground types. And a handy candy S. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's go ahead and check in with our research community. Let's see what you guys have sent me today. 43 new reports. 1, 2, 3, another 3 double candies. Again, nobody that doubled up is level 5. Let me just scroll through real quick because I want to double check and make sure that my assumption is correct, in that if it does get doubled, it puts them at the top so that you can see who got doubled. And that does seem to be the case. I didn't scroll through yesterday, but I scrolled through 2 days ago on, what was that, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. And all of the doubles were at the top. It looked like all the doubles were at the top yesterday. And then today, for sure, all the doubles are at the top. So I think we can pretty conclusively say if the candy's doubled, they will be at the top. But again, it's interesting that in the 3 days of all the ones that have doubled, which I think have been 11 friends have doubled over those 3 days, only one of them was rank 5. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. I'm still thinking somewhere around 10% might be just the average possibility of it doubling. Not 100% sure. But we did. Oh, well, there's a level 5 right there. 2 level 5s. 3. 6 handy candies. I will absolutely take it. Absolutely. And on top of that, let's go ahead and grab these ingredients and try to get some breakfast going. I'm thinking that going forward for today and tomorrow, my only real concern, well, my only real way of getting extra strength with Snorlax is going to be cooking. Because like I said, I may just go ahead and swap out this Cubone for, do I want to do Butterfree? Yeah, I think I'm going to switch out for Butterfree. Because Butterfree still brings in a decent amount of berries. But again, not really concerned. But it does have honey, and that seems to be where I am having the most trouble getting ingredients for these cookies we've been making. But before I go into that, I do want to shout out JP told me yesterday something I didn't even think about. If you have a berry specialist and you're leaving their pack full intentionally to take advantage of the full pack trick where they only bring in berries because their pack is full so they can't get ingredients, if you still want to check and see if they're skill triggered, you can click on them, no skill trigger, but don't collect the berries. Instead, what I've been doing is just going to my team. Once you get to this menu, just back out. And boom, the berries are back in his pack. His pack is full again. So this way you can still try to get the main skill procs without depleting the pack and having to start over. So neat little trick. Didn't even think about that, but thanks again, JP, for pointing that out. Make sure you guys use that to its fullest advantage. And let's go ahead and get into some breakfast. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we do have enough for the steadfast ginger cookies, which is exactly what we want to make. Just wanted to scroll through real fast and see how many recipes I'm still missing from desserts. Only 5, that's not too bad. And one of them's an easy recipe, so I might see if I can make that sometime today or tomorrow. I really want to get all these recipes done and cleared off the board. I only have the ingredients for cookies. Okay, so let's throw in some honey then, because it's the one I have the most of. But yeah, there's only a few recipes I have left in desserts. Curious which ones they are. Got 7,629 from these steadfast ginger cookies. Just enough for 2 level ups. So that's good. Very good. Oh, I think it's just the fancy apple juice that I haven't made yet. Somehow. All right. There's that number again, and let's go ahead and swap out real quick. Let's get ourselves set up for success. Cubone, I love you. You're fantastic. But actually, before we swap out, let's double check something real quick. Okay, yeah, level 21, and I need 40 candies to evolve, so we're not doing that yet. Let's ooh, I could switch in Wartortle. That would be more focused on ingredients, and he does need to level up a bit more. I might do that. I might just do that. Let's see. Well, maybe not. Wartortle wouldn't give me anything that I really need. It's milk. And without the apples, the milk does me no good. Yeah, I think we're just going to do Butterfree. It's easy. We know how good it is. Plus, it's my shiny. I get to show off a little bit. Or, alternatively, one thing I was looking into, and I still haven't figured out just exactly how good it is this extra helpful. I understand how it works. It just, whenever it triggers whatever Pokemon it applies to, it gives you 4 rolls of whatever they would normally bring in. So let's say it triggered on itself. It gets 4 rolls, so it could bring in 3 berries and 1 fiery herb. Could bring in 2 and 2, or any combination of those 2 items for 4 attempts at gathering. I probably explained that very poorly, but that's the gist of how that works. I'm not sure how helpful this main skill actually is and or will be when it's leveled up. I know at max level it gives you 9 rolls on what the Pokemon could possibly bring in. On that, if that triggered on a berry specialist, for example, and I'm not sure if this would work, we would need to test it to make sure. Hypothetically, that berry specialist has Berry Finder S and its pack is full. Would that guarantee 27 berries right then and there? And if so, how helpful would that actually be? Or would it be better to try to trigger it on an ingredient specialist and say have a team mostly filled with ingredient specialists and have that trigger on them and bring in potentially 18 or more? Like, let's just use Growlithe again as an example. If it were to trigger on itself and hypothetically all 9 rolls were on the sausage, that would be 27 sausages just on that skill trigger. So I can see a potential for this skill to be very good, but I also can see a potential for it to just always trigger on the wrong Pokemon, or the rolls that you get not be what you want. So maybe it's just one of those gamble things. Like it could be very useless or it could be very useful, and I'm just not really sure how I feel about it. The fact that this is a 99% Growlithe, given its skill trigger M and sassy nature, makes me want to try to use it, and it's shiny, so of course I want to show off too because I'm conceited that way. But I'm just not really sure how useful it actually is. If you have experimented with Extra Helpful and have some ideas on how good or bad it actually is, please let us know in the comments, because like I said, I can see it being very good, but I can see it being very bad. So we'll just have to figure that out. But that said, that's what I've got for today. Thanks for coming by and watching the video. Be sure to hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, later dudes. Good morning everyone and welcome back. We are on day 7, Sunday, here on Taup Hollow. Our final day here on Taup Hollow, but not our final sleep report. Still have tomorrow, and we're going to start off with 6,392 sneaky snacking, which is going to put us to Ultra 4. Like I was saying yesterday, I haven't really been super concerned with ranking up at this point. Not being able to get to Master 2 to unlock Steelix, just trying to keep that spawn pool as minimal as possible to hopefully get the Onyx that we are after. But unfortunately, no luck yet. But we are going to start off with 100 sleep points, which puts us at 12,102. Only about 5,000 left until we hit our goal and can do the premium. So it's definitely not happening by the end of this month. So maybe that'll be our New Year's goal. Well, let's jump into this sleep report and hope that we get slumbering. I'm really hoping we get slumbering. 9.5 hours of sleep. Slumbering is looking pretty in the bag. So that's good. We did get slumbering. All right, so now the hunt is on. So let's see, I think we got 23 million yesterday, so maybe we can get like 26, 20 something, 27 maybe. Yep, 27.5 million. 4 1-stars. So we got, looks like 4 chances for Onyx. Let's see what we got. We do have a top belly. If it was Onyx, that'd be really funny. Nope, it's Cleffa. Oh, that is a new one. I thought I had that one already. Uh-oh. There's 6 repeats. Got Togepi, Igglybuff, Riolu, Marowak, and 2 Gravelers. Got a bunch of baby forms today. And we've got 1 new one, which is, unfortunately, it's the Cleffa. So no Onyx yet again. But that is a pretty cute Cleffa though. Yee. All right, now let's see if anybody's hungry. Would be nice. We do have one hungry. Ooh, hungry graveler. While that's good, I don't know that I'm really all that excited about it. But given the other choices, I think honestly the Iggly buff is the only other one that I'd even be kind of interested in. So yeah, I think we're just gonna feed the Graveler and see what happens. Of course, we get the hungry big hit. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Yeah, we're too shy. And I'm not gonna use any of these on a Graveler. We already have a really good Golem and well, a pretty good Golem and a really good Geodude. Not really super worried about that. Let's see. Let's you know what? Yeah, let's send out some Igglybuff. Not Igglybuff, Cleffa candy. I looked right at Igglybuff when I said it. Decent amount of candies. Unfortunately, still no Onyx. That thing is just seeming to be ever elusive. But we did get 1500 research XP and 2200 dream shards. So not a bad sleep research. Nothing really too special, but certainly could have gone a lot worse. And let's see, still no new news. We did get a medal though. 70 rock types. All right. Ooh, 15 diamonds. I need those. My supply of diamonds. Why can't I click the button? My supply of diamonds is running uncomfortably low. Now we check and see how many people doubled up and see if our odds stay about the same. So 43 reports. And we got 4 that doubled, and only one of them is level 5. I've had far more, significantly more doubled candy from friends that aren't level 5. So I'm not sure if that's just been luck of the draw, if things are functioning as intended, or if things aren't, but I mean, it is nice. It seems like we're still, let's see, 43 and we had 4, so still around that 10% range. I'm not sure what the actual percentage would be, since I'm lumping in all of my friend ranks together, but personal experience, around 10% per day are turning it or giving me double candy. So I'm actually kind of curious if you guys are seeing the same or if you're seeing a higher percentage or a lower percentage. Let me know in the comments. Let's try to brainstorm this and figure out if we're all getting about the same, roughly 10% per day. We did get 1 level up, 2, 3. Cool, 3 level ups. So we got 3 ingredient tickets and a link cable, which we can do something really interesting with. Let's go ahead and check that out now. So with the new update, we can scroll down to our link cables and use them. And let's just use the one we got just for demonstration. And when you use it, it gives you random candy. So we got 5 Geodude candy, which is fantastic because we're going to need it for evolving our Geodude when we get ready for that. So pretty good. I like my game seems to be running a little slow. I like the idea of being able to use the link cables to get candy. That way we don't have our bag piling up. Skill trigger, not really super concerned with that. That way we don't have our bag just piling up with link cables. But I still wish that we had, instead of getting a link cable at level 3, that we would get a random evolution item, particularly given how expensive some of the evolution items are. Like the shiny stone, I think it's 1800 sleep points. So those get real expensive real fast. And I even think it would be fair if they made it to where the link cable was the most common evolution item you got at level 3, and you had a chance, like varying chances for different items. Some may be more rare than others, but it'd be nice if link cables weren't the only thing we got. But as it stands now, being able to get rid of them for candy, at least we can do something with them instead of just throwing them away. So a good step in the right direction. Maybe in the future we'll get what we want. Let's jump into breakfast. We have what we need for these steadfast ginger cookies, and we should have plenty extra ingredients to throw in there. Let's let's get rid of all of these tomatoes too. Well, not all the tomatoes, but most of them. Oh, it was all of them. My math wasn't mathing. This is going to give us a big boost to our Snorlax strength, but really I'm only concerned with leveling up the steadfast cookies. So just comes with the territory. $13,412 is almost enough for 2 levels. All right, so halfway through Ultra 4 skill trigger. Nope, I needed that skill trigger too. All right, so let's go ahead and double check on how our team is doing. With it being Sunday and me not really worried about powering up Snorlax all that much, I have been thinking about just swapping out what's this thing called, Bayleaf, for this guy, just to try to bring in as many ingredients as possible for when we start next week. But I don't know if I want to do exactly Wartortle yet. I'm also thinking about, what I need to do, since we're not worried about getting strength today, I think I'm going to go through and look at, well, that doesn't even matter. I was going to say I was going to try to plan for what meal we're going to make next week, but it'll be random. We don't know what we're going to get. So yeah, I may just swap out for Wartortle. Probably swap this one out for, basically I'm going to swap out for ingredient magnets and just try to get as many ingredients as I can. But maybe I'll go through and figure out which combination of ingredients is the most useful across all 3 dishes, and try to build those up today so that we can start off tomorrow on a really good note. But that said, that's what we're looking at today. Probably not going to make it to Ultra 5. I kind of hope we don't, because that's just more that is competing with the Onyx spawn. But yep, that's what I've got for today. That's the plan, and appreciate you coming around and watching the video. Be sure to hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, later dudes.